People who might benefit from this system are individuals with severe mental retardation or developmental disabilities, autism, severe sensory impairments, orthopedic impairments, or any combination of these disabilities. Before we begin showing you the principles of tangible symbol systems, listen to a few accounts of how effective the system can be.
They've all progressed. It hasn't seemed to matter what their reason for being nonverbal was, what their handicapping condition was, what their potential for, what their final stage of communication was going to be. Some of them jumped right through and went on to verbal. Some of them would hit a place and stop, but they all, it helped them all reduce frustration levels.
I've had some children with very severe disabilities that they're physically and mentally and even emotionally involved. They always need someone there to manipulate their body for them. They can't, don't even have head control. And then some kids that really have a lot of language maybe cannot produce the sounds correctly to form words.
Tangible symbol systems is a method of communication that uses concrete rather than abstract symbols. Symbols may be whole objects, parts of objects, associated objects, textures or shapes, photographs, or line drawings. These different types of symbols illustrate progressively more abstract levels of representation.
Well, I met David in 1986 when he moved to Portland after spending a good portion of his life in a state institution. David had very limited communication skills. The one sign he knew was food, and other than body language, there really wasn't any communication. Well, we learned about the tangible symbol communication system and began working with David with the tangible symbols. And David was delighted to find a method that he could use to let people know what choices he wanted to make in his life, and whether it was a snack or whether it was recreation. We moved steadily forward, starting with food and rewarding or answering his responses by giving him what he chose, and then moved to recreational things, and then on to vocational tasks. David quickly learns any new symbols we offer him. I would estimate that probably right now he is well versed in over 100 symbols, and a good portion of them different work parts that he can individually select when he runs out of them at his workstation and needs to continue on his job.
I think I really tended to sell those short, and my expectations were too low. I think I tended to do things for him that I really didn't need to do. And I think seeing him communicate and seeing what the possibilities are, now the expectations are much higher. I think they're still realistic. We know that there is no magic cure, but I think we're certainly not going to be standing in the way of his development any longer.
I never expected Louis to be able to use the pictures. I guess my expectations of him has always been real low. Like I still consider him like a baby because developmentally, what functioning at about 2-year level. And then after seeing the pictures and stuff and how he does use them and understands, it's really made me think of him in a different light. Like, wow.
Yeah, we certainly won't sell him short anymore.
Fine, let's put it all away. Let's put this away.
Mary talked all the time, but she didn't have any recognizable speech.
What toy should we play with now?
The tangible symbols she used helped her express her needs before she had more useful words, before she had words that we could understand.
I've only seen it be a bridge, and I've only seen it be beneficial. I remember one child who did try to not talk and just point, but if you pushed him and said you have to use your words too, the pictures helped focus him and helped get a more complex utterance. I haven't seen it make kids stop talking or not talk or regress at all.
Some learners who will eventually learn to use high-tech communication systems may benefit from learning how to use the tangible symbols sequence first, so that they will learn how to use the symbolic system that is later incorporated into their communication device. Corey first learned to use individual picture symbols to communicate, and then quickly learned to use the voice output device that you see him using here. Tangible symbols may be used for both expressive and receptive communication. This videotape is designed to illustrate instructional issues that are related to expressive communication. For additional information on teaching individuals to use tangible symbols for receptive communication, please consult the manual. As we shall see, you need to use a highly individualized approach when teaching someone to use tangible symbols. Teaching an individual of any age to use tangible symbol systems involves individual assessments of readiness, the creation of motivating opportunities to use symbols, the selection of an appropriate indicating response, continual monitoring of symbol comprehension, and an emphasis on promoting steady progress. Let's look more closely at these important issues.